Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Hope you've had a good week and all that jazz. Apologies for being a bit flaky this week, especially as I said earlier in the week, I'm going to be going at it harder this year. I'm still going hard at my DIY just at the moment, trying to get things finished there. I know it's Friday night tonight, but tonight I'm going to be painting the inside of my wardrobes. So there you go. I hope you're having a fun one, whatever you're up to. I'm going to do a bit of a long one today, hopefully. We've got 4 bands to check out and some really nice modern metalcore. We checked out the classic metalcore earlier in the week, which I really like. But I'm also keeping an eye on the modern, the freshest stuff, the stuff the new generations are coming out with. We've got 4 really nice bands to check out today. The first band, I think these are new to the channel, the Cartographer. They're on Beheading the Traitor. Their track is called Fiend. Let's check these guys out. Heavy. Yes, super dope. Man, what a great sound to this one. Guitars sounded amazing. Drums sounded absolutely amazing. Like the vocal in there as well. Sat in the mix nice and a real nice grizzly, dirty bass tone that you could hear all the time. Sick! Man, what a nice band. Nice bounce and groove in these guys as well. You can really get into the mosh with it nicely. Sick drumming. Loads of cool fills and long fills and just blast beats and stuff, which is something I love hearing in metalcore nowadays. And more bands are starting to do that as well, or more drummers, I should say. Love to hear it. It's just another nice edge of drumming to bring into the metalcore. Sick. What a nice band. Great video to go with it as well. So hopefully be checking this band out more in this year, see what they're all about. Now, we like this band. We haven't had them on the channel for a while. Pulse. I really like them. They're from the UK. I will have to say, though, they put out an album, or it might have been an EP, the previous one to this, I think it must have been. And it had quite an interesting sound on it in terms of the mix and the whole tone of the whole mix. It's been really heavily compressed by the sound of things and EQ'd in such a way that had quite a lot of fizzle and high-end kind of harshness to it. I personally didn't think it was their best sound. I respected that they tried something different and something new with it. So there you go. It's cool. You know, sometimes you try something and it works out great. Sometimes you try something and it doesn't work out quite as well as you'd hoped. But it's dope that you at least tried something different. On this one, though, it sounds like they're kind of decided, maybe they decided themselves, that's not the sound we're looking for, and have kind of gone back to a more conventional sound with this one. But it suits their music. So there you go. This one's called Flies. Let's give it a spin. See what it's all about. That's a pretty crazy guitar tone. Crazy tone. Really nice, that one is. Yeah, super dope. Great tone on this one, although it's got that kind of scoopness to it in this one as well. It's an interesting tone, but I think it worked out nicer in this one than it did in one of the previous tracks that I was looking at of theirs. Man, these guys, I always keep an eye out for these guys. Since the first time we checked them out, when they came through with a really cool, original, different, new metalcore track that moved in certain ways that you just didn't expect. It caught you off guard, but it still felt right and dope. And I really was impressed with it, and I've gone back and listened to that track a whole bunch of times. I still think it's probably my favourite track of theirs that we've checked out so far. But I always keep my eye on these guys since then, and we've checked them out on the show a few times, because I honestly believe I wouldn't be surprised if these guys come through with some this year, next year, or whatever, that really kind of stands out as some super dope, super special, and kind of not going to create a new genre, but going to help define this new metalcore genre and show people that it is the latest and dopest and freshest thing coming out. And that these younger generations have got new ways to approach metal, that it's not just verse and chorus riffs or playing out the tracks in the standard format that we've done for 30, 40 years. They're thinking outside the box, just kind of whipping the riffs all over the place, going like genty and balmy and groovy, then into some death, and just really mixing it up, just not sticking to one genre or one format, really kind of just doing what they like. And I really, really dig it. It's about time we got something fresh, especially from the metalcore scene as well, which is like the main kind of genre within metal nowadays. So when it's the kind of more mainstream thing, you want to see innovation, you want it to move on, you don't want it to stagnate, and it was stagnating. But I'm really kind of interested in these bands because I think they are making the latest, coolest stuff. And I think it's already in a really nice place, but I think it can go even further to where you listen to it and you're just like, holy shit, yes, these guys are killing it. And I think they're definitely heading that direction. Very, very nice band. We've checked these guys out before as well. La Pest, their track for us today is called Overhaul. Let's give them a spin. More flashing lights. Press play, yeah. Let's hear a bit more bass in this mix. Go. That's all we got from this one. Short one. Well, it's 2.5 minutes though. It seemed quicker than that for me. This was a cool one. I think they could have gone nicer with the mix though, unfortunately. Just didn't seem to have the power and the weight, and I think it just needed more bass, and especially when it broke down to that bass tone. It would have been nice for it to really fill out the mix a bit more. So I would just say crank up the bass a bit more on this kind of stuff, just to get the power and the weight out of the music. Some cool riffs in there as well though, mathcore and alien core. I love to hear that in this kind of music as well. So yeah, very nice. Just kind of need to get more power out of it, The last band we're going to check out today, I think these guys are new to the channel, Kill. Which is I can't believe bands still get away with names just like that. One word, it's kind of Kill or Garden or something like that, where you type it in and you're never going to find a band. So I don't know how that people do it. O.T.G.D.Y, this track's called. I'm not sure what that stands for, but let's give it a spin.
I want you.
Yeah, this is the bassy weightiness you want to get from this kind of music. Just makes it heavy. ting out of that ride.
That you were still the same. I'm to blame. I never forgive myself. You're always on my fucking brain.
Yeah.
Lie to myself, but it's okay. Lie to myself, but it's okay.
Cool.
I took you for granted, and there's nothing I can do. I should have told you what you meant to me. God only knows I wish I could. Only memories fill my mind. They say the good are young, and get it, that's the fucking truth.
Cool. Cool vibe.
I will die in shame.
Band looks dope. Very cool. Great video for it. Thought the band looked really dope. Cool one. Man, yeah. I love to see a big dude on the vocals or on the drums. I just think a big dude on the vocals or on the drums just brings more power to that kind of position within the band, and it just looks and sounds dope. Very, very cool. I thought the band looked really, really cool in the video. Man, that was a nice band. Filled out the bassy low end. Got that kind of tone that you want to hear in this kind of music. And that's why I did mention to Le Pest, I think they need to focus in on that, because that's one of the things that makes this fresh music sound so dope and heavy, is because they've cranked the bass up, give it a fat, dirty, grisly tone. And I mention it all the time. And the reason why I mention it all the time is because that's a fresh new thing that's different. You know, all the tropes and the kind of memes about Jason Newsted, that you couldn't hear him on the albums and stuff, and that there really wasn't any bass, and thrash metal was all about guitars. That used to be metal, you know, it used to be a thing, and that was how it was when I was growing up. Bass players just never even got talked about. The only bass player you ever spoke about was Flea from Chili Peppers, and that's because he, you know, was a really high level bassist. Everyone else just sat back in the band and just filled out the low end. But nowadays, the bass is as important as the guitarists, the drummers, or anyone else in the band, because they're filling it out, they're bringing the weight, they're bringing the heaviness, and bringing an extra level of distortion and heaviness in that way to the music. And it's just bumped the whole thing up and made the whole thing heavier. So, you know, the days of overlooking the bass and just having them playing the root note of the guitars and that's about it should be behind us. And that's why I always talk about the bassists and the drummers, because those are the aspects of this kind of music that, in my opinion, have still got a lot of potential to go, because they've always been the kind of overlooked aspects of this kind of music. It's always been about the guitars and the vocalists, you know. So there's still potential for those other aspects of this music to come out, and now they are coming out. All the drummers today have been sick, but all the drummers today in general are sick, and they're really high level, and it's coming through the music, and it just takes the whole thing to the next level. You know, again, if you want to talk back about Metallica, look at Lars Ulrich and how his drumming and his just kind of 1-2-1-2 drumming has been a meme for decades and decades. Well, the drummers and the bassists nowadays have just totally overridden that, left that whole trope and metal scene behind. And because of that, they're bringing freshness and new stuff to this kind of music. I love to hear it. Very, very nice. So hope you've enjoyed that today, guys. I think we've done a nice one today. 20 minutes of 4 really cool bands to check out, the modern, freshest stuff, and showing us that metal is still new and has still got fresh ideas to go, and it's not just regurgitating the past and going round in circles. I love to hear that. Very, very nice. So hope you have a good one, whatever you get up to. If you're painting inside your wardrobes or God knows whatever you do tonight, have a good one and over the weekend, and then we'll be back now already for the Monday grind. If you want to get your band on this channel next week and let me talk about your music, check out your video and all the rest of it, head over to the website, make a submission, we'll try and get you on as soon as we can. Cheers guys, have a good one, bye.